This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free, and the creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome to the Luncheon podcast today. I'm Davis, and I'm here again with Charlie.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce my father, Kevin Callahan. On St.
Yeah. Happy Kevin Day.
St. Kevin's Day.
Yes. Observe it wisely in your own way.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our mukbang.
Yeah,
Our
we're
podcast.
eating. Busy day today. Went to the Apple store and need to get a new phone because the other one that my aunt gave me completely bricked and refused to update. So I have to buy a completely new phone. Thank you, Apple.
Oh.
Ooh, pickle ginger. Nice. But what else has been going on in the past week with us? I worked the entire Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday all day for Sushi Soba, so I guess paying for a new phone isn't that bad. That's working 2 days.
Okay, what have I done?
I haven't worked on my senior project. I'm pretty sure this is my vacation week actually, which is fine. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's choking.
You
You quick! You get an AED. You call 911.
I ate all of that in one shot for some stupid
Oh,
reason.
the wasabi? Why?
I didn't know what it was.
We don't know what wasabi is, dude.
I forgot. I must have forgotten. So, yeah, my mouth was on fire for a second.
Go get a
Hi,
drink.
everybody.
Go get a Coke or something.
I drowned it out with sushi.
Okay.
That's the idea.
That's interesting. But yeah, I've not done any more work on my senior project. No design work, nothing.
No.
Which
yeah.
has been tough. But I did start again today designing stream layouts for and branding guide for Spanko YGO. He's a YouTuber I met through a Discord that has all the YouTubers and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's neat. I'm enjoying it. I like everyone there. Everyone's nice, they're kind.
Yeah,
so,
they're cool.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. But what's in the world of Charlie of Callahan?
Well, I'm going to Wyoming for the weekend, helping a friend out, and I'm sure it'll be fun. First time going, so that'll be cool. Get to see the wilderness of the West, maybe hunt a bear, probably not. But yeah, in terms of projects and stuff, just working on my old film I showed you before.
Yeah.
From third year. He's getting that set up, getting that finished. So that's going well.
Pretty good.
And then, just get my
I'll go grab a drinks.
website set up as well. Yeah, could you get me a Diet Coke, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah, but overall it's going well. I haven't played too many games recently, except maybe Pokemon. And then it's just been quiet, which is good. I prefer the quiet.
Oh, speaking of games, I got higher rank into Monster Hunter. That's good. I finished the Kushadora one. I always forgot because when I started off with 3, they kind of started off 3 and 4 started off with Kushadora first, and it was a pain in the ass because you didn't have any good weakness and insight to how the fight works.
Yeah.
But if you do Chameleos first, then you do Kushadora, then inside Tessostra later on, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Overall,
the triad.
Yeah. Because it's a complete weapon triangle with them. You have the Chameleos who's weak to fire, but it's strong against the Kushadora. And then Kushadora is weak against poison, but good against Tessostra.
Yeah.
And then it
Teostra
keeps
is
going
weak
on and
against
on.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But the battle shacks, though, is very interesting to see. Because, when I played Generations, right, that was a completely new monster, and it was a pain in the ass, but they definitely, fine-tune a lot of the things that
In Gen Ultimate, yeah. Have you fought him yet or no?
Not yet. He appeared on, the Chameleos quest, and I was like,
Cool.
I'm not dealing with that.
I can tell you, it's a fucking pain.
It is a pain.
It's tough. Going into Monster Hunter, I beat him. I got his armor set, which you'll find out soon enough is the most broken shit ever.
Yeah. Any Elder Dragon armor is completely broken.
Oh.
I did finish Chameleos armor, though. I also did change my character to female. It's way better.
Yeah, I bet. That's the overall feel of armor is just so much better.
Well, because World was such a dumbed down thing. Because we used to have both lightweight for bow guns and bows. But like the drawback of that was like it had a lower armor rating, so you had less defense, which would make it like the game offset. But like with like bows and stuff, like it kind of is like kind of cheap now, overall.
Well, yeah, I mean they've really like made everything broken. Well, specifically the range weapons, because I know for a fact bows are straight up like are broken. They don't work properly. I think they have an animation cancel thing, which makes them do crazy amounts of damage, and light bow gun specifically is just so ridiculous now. Heavy bow gun is heavy bow gun.
Yeah.
It's not really changing much. At least that's what I've heard. I don't play range, unfortunately. Unfortunately,
but it's kind of needed. If you're hunting in a team, you need the main DPS, C support, and like your ranged.
Yeah, but everyone's
usually DPS though. That's the thing. Usually you get the good occasional hunting horn, which I did start playing hunting horn recently. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet.
I use the rampage one, has like recovery S and stuff, but like you could upgrade that to like recovery L, and then you constantly can keep regenning from monster hits, which is really nice.
Oh yeah, hunting horn's really good. I've heard it's been debuff or it's been nerfed from the beta.
Oh yeah, definitely, because
strong.
hunting horns overall is such a unique and good weapon because like you constantly get buffs, but there's no like major drawbacks to those buffs. There's no like increased stamina decretion for everyone else, like because like if they do that, no one's gonna play the weapon.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, from a gameplay aspect, they need sort of how to rethink how weapons work and what their peaks are, and what their like low and like weaknesses are. Because with dual blades, right? You should get many hits in, but your hits should do less damage, like for every hit.
Yeah, I could see that. Just changing the roles more instead of it just being one weapon can do everything that every other weapon can. I mean, that's Sword and Shield's kind of role, but it's just like it's a jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal.
Sword and Shield are very interesting
because you got really good in Rise too.
Yeah, you got buffed in Rise, but like overall, Sword and Shield is still pretty good for what it's worth. But I think they should do more events where like collaborations with other things.
They're gonna do stuff with Capcom, but what happened was there was a little sneaky data goblin that hacked their servers or whatever, and so that's why they came out like that. I guess like part of the reason why they released the game as it was, because obviously if you could tell, like the stuff with Kushala and the Elder Dragons and Valstrax was supposed to be in the initial release, but because of the data hacking thing, they had to release it early, and so now they're like, well, here's what we got. And so you see the full, like what the full game was supposed to be. It's like, okay, this is cool.
Well, no. So for higher rank stuff, they usually add it on a bit later after the initial release.
Yeah.
Just because it takes a bit of time to properly grind out everything, get to the end. But people, because like it's the problem with like the story inside Rise is that it forces you to play multiplayer, and that makes just to make the game easier. In the older games, you didn't have that access to it. If you did multiplayer and then you went back to the story, you completely wiped the story. But if you did the story first, multiplayer would be easier for you, which is great because it makes materials easier to farm, and getting help from other hunters is probably the best way to do it because it's a multiplayer game.
But now you have to do hub quests to get the actual ending.
Exactly, and that's the thing I didn't really like about the entire structure of Rise overall, is that it forces you to play these sort of multiplayer sections. And I don't want to do like raids and stuff because like it's just a pain in the ass to find people and like do it correctly the first time.
Well, yeah, doing the rampage is a pain, and you have to by yourself. You can get like an A rank or maybe an S rank if you're really good.
Yeah, but it's
if
just
you really want the best rewards, you gotta have people with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's just like games shouldn't be forcing you to play online because it's one of those things where it's like, I don't necessarily want to play online, so I don't have to play online. And they allow you to do that with like the hub quests and all, but like a lot of the experience is online though. I mean, I think $20 is a fair option for Nintendo Online too, because like you're getting so much for your buck overall. Because if you play multiple online games, then it's well worth it.
Yeah, it is cool to see also like how people do their routes and stuff in the game. Just seeing like where the spear birds are and how the people you'd normally see hunting would do it.
Min-max it, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that it does seem kind of repetitive, even for Monster Hunter, to do the exact same 7-level quests over again. It's different, I know.
But that's what I liked about Generations. That's such a wide variety of areas to go to.
Yeah, but you could make the argument, though. I'm saying, like, is this one of the things in Monster Hunter that needs to stay? You could make that argument, but I'm like, at the same time, it's a different experience a bit.
I do think they should do more with multi-level areas, because all this stuff inside Rise is very flat and very kind of area to area, which makes sense. But I was kind of hoping more of a kind of platforming kind of deal with a lot of the areas,
similar to the Ancient Forest in World, where it has the elevation aspect.
Yeah,
it's just easier to navigate.
Yeah, I think as a flat plane for navigation, it makes it easier. I think that to elevate it more, it should be more in depth though, because inside the past Monster Hunter games, inside Generations, right? It had the loading, but each area was very connected and how high it was and how low certain things were. And you could tell from the map that certain areas were lower than others. I think one of the things I would change about the mini map though is the size of it, because when you play online, it's very small and I can't see everything. That's what I liked about the 3DS, because you could just your map would be on the bottom of your screen.
Well, yeah, I mean you could change it on the settings.
No, you can't make it full. It's always inside that one little.
No, you can. You can pick the full. You can see the full map with. You just have to go into the settings and change it from hub map to not detailed map to hub map.
No, because you want to have that details there because you want to look for supplies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing is that you can't have both, and that's the problem. You should be able to have both.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd rather have the big hub map the big map with the details. Yeah, I'd appreciate that if that was an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those
just
things.
World. I mean, World was similar. It had. Well, not really. I guess.
No, it had the full map. It had well, you could expand the map. It was very similar, but it was very the same detail. But I'd rather have the full detailed full map somewhere, and then I could just keep running around.
Yeah, because I'd like to see the overall
exactly.
Situation of everything.
That's why I think the 3DS was really good for the Monster Hunter series, because it allowed them to keep certain things up on above and some things below, and it was probably just a better layout overall.
I absolutely agree.
But what
more
else?
Information, just more stuff going on.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's within UI design, you have to make certain cuts to because the wheels and stuff. Before Rise, you got to manually scroll through the wheels. You can't do the shortcuts.
Yeah.
And Resident World, you got the shortcut wheels, which is pretty nice and all.
No, you got the shortcut wheels in Rise, don't you?
That's what I'm saying. Before World and Rise, we didn't have that.
Oh,
it was all manual. Right. You had to hit L and scroll through A and Y.
I still do that, though.
Well, everyone does that because it's a force of habit. Because it's faster to do that than just to... Because sometimes when you do the shortcut wheel, right, it won't proc properly. And that's a problem. Because I'll be on my fucking dog and just... I want to whetstone, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But when I flick it up, it won't select it. It'll go up and then just disappear. I'm like, fucking Christ.
Yeah. I just like the feeling with the buttons. You just hit the thing. Done.
Also gives a more sense of urgency. I also need to mention that. It gives you a sense of urgency.
Also, you know where you're so familiar where it's okay, you know how long it'll take to get to the...
Yeah, because if you don't carry a lot of items on you, which you should, it's one of those things where it's just it makes sense for just to cycle through all your little knickknacks and stuff to get to your whatever, because it makes sense. Because that's the way it's supposed to be played. Is you're just supposed to cycle through all your shit and then be done with it.
This food is so good, by the way.
Yeah. We got sushi today before we went to the Apple Store, which is another story, I guess. But they told me my phone bricked. Right, so I was just fucking Christ, it sucks. So we came back. We're going back at 3:15.
Yeah,
that's when the appointment is.
Our raid part 2.
Yeah, and then I'm getting a new phone anyway, so it's fine. I don't care. But yeah, so I couldn't get any money out of the other phone. because we were sitting there with our lunch, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah. She explained to what's going on. She's like, yeah. So the reason why your phone doesn't work is because there wasn't enough space on it. I was like, then why the fuck didn't they tell me that in the first place? And I was just like, okay, fine, I'll get a new phone. But the problem about that was, it was just like, I already bought a case for the iPhone XS, right? And I was just like, do you have anything in a similar size that will fit the case? He's like, we don't have this in stock. I was like, fucking Christ. I was just like, okay, fine. I'll just go look at the new phones because it's gonna only be $549 for the thing,
Yeah.
right? It's gonna be like
Originally, yeah.
600. But in order to upgrade though, it's like I would like more space on my phone, so like 128 gigabytes is pretty good because my old phone was 64. So I was like, okay, that's fine. It was an extra $50. I was like, okay, fine. I'll just get a new phone. But like the amount of like fucking like shit I have to do to activate it is just a pain in the ass. It's like, oh,
You're jumping through hoops. Essentially.
exactly. It's like, oh yeah, you have to activate for you. It's like, oh Christ. But like the thing about that is like I own the phone, I own the SIM card. It's like I can just slot it in. That's what I've done for the past like few things that it already should be unlocked.
It doesn't make sense why it would be so much more difficult.
Exactly. Sure. Technically, it already should be unlocked because I buy it from you. It shouldn't be locked into a carrier. That's the thing.
already have a solution to this problem.
This is your
Exactly.
company.
You work for the companies. Like you should understand. Like you like if you're buying from a carrier, right? The phone should be locked to that carrier. But if you're buying from a regular Apple store, then it should just be unlocked from the get go.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is why I just don't go to the Apple store that much. It's just so much of a pain.
The
to
amount
transition.
of fuckery they put you through is
It really
bullshit.
Drop the noodle.
Yeah, I saw
Drop the
that.
noodle. Sorry.
Can't use chopsticks. There's a fork right there.
I'm a foreigner, as they say.
There's a fork right there, Charlie.
Shut up.
White boy. The white man can't use 2 sticks to pick up food.
I am uncultured, as they say.
Yeah.
As my other white friend would say, I'm uncultured. I'm like, fuck you.
Which one? The one from Texas? What culture do you have?
Henry. It's Henry. I'm like, he, the rich boy. I'm like, you fucking you.
He's the kind of guy who would probably like have a tiger head or tiger skin on the floor as a rug or something.
Well, to be honest, his mom does have some like
Exotic
Indonesian stuff like on the walls and everything.
Ugh.
I'm like, okay.
It's like if you hunt it yourself, that's fine. But like if
it's just artwork.
It's just-
it's not like actual.
Okay.
fur and shit.
okay,
But
fans making a weird sound, Charles. Is it
Don't
gonna
worry about
explode?
don't worry about it. All
Charlie, is it gonna explode?
all of my stuff in my house sounds like it's gonna explode at some point. Like you just get used to it. It's like, oh, the fridge is about to explode. Cool.
Well, that's the thing, though. You're conditioned to think that it's not gonna explode, but when it does, it's gonna be like, oh shit. Well,
At that point, I've just steeled myself and I'm ready for it.
yeah.
I've just
You made your
accepted
peace.
fate. Yeah.
A piece of fridge shrapnel strikes you in the forehead.
I'm willing
and
to
you
die from a fucking 2-day-old scrap from last night. Just
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. I can die from leftovers.
This is fine.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing where the dog's sitting in the fire. This is fine. Yeah.
Death by Chinese leftovers.
Death by Chinese leftovers.
Who'd
Yep.
have thought?
Who would have thought? Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much today. What else has we got going on? So, what about we touched upon Wyoming, but you want to go more into like why you're going to Wyoming?
Yeah, why not? My friend and I have to help him move a car to his ranch in Wyoming. This is sounding bougie, you're right. And so we have to help him there. So we have to take a flight all the way up, and then get it all the way down to the ranch, wherein we will hang out and get our gun licenses for Wyoming, which will be kind of cool.
Which is like you're not going to go back to Wyoming though, so like why bother?
I know, it's really just to say like, hey, I can shoot you in Wyoming.
Yeah. Why don't we take like a 5-hour flight to Wyoming and then I'll shoot you in the leg there.
Exactly. It's just like if you got a problem with me, I'll take you to Wyoming, where you either get killed by a bear or shot by me. But the chances of the bear are probably higher.
Yeah.
Speaking of bears, they do have a grizzly bear
Roaming around their ranch.
It's not close. It's just they see it occasionally.
So what are they doing with the other house? Are they already packed everything up?
So they're staying at their mom's, at his grandmother's place, which is already super good anyway. So they'll probably just stick
It's
around
rich.
there. Yeah, they are quite wealthy, and they got a house in Florida. So they're pretty much they gotta.
We should try to rent it. We should just ask them like, hey, can you go stay at the Florida house and then we just go party?
Yeah, you gotta have some people managing the Florida house. They already do, but too late.
That sucks. But why? You should trust Charlie Callahan. He's the best guy around. You shouldn't realize that Charlie's the only person to take care of that Florida house for you. And his friend Davis, he should be going down there too.
Yeah, more importantly, Davis, the only guy.
Yeah.
He's the only man I can trust.
Yeah, exactly. Can't trust Alex.
No.
He'll probably light something on fire and then burn the house down.
He'll invite the bear in.
He'll invite the bear.
He'll be like,
He would invite the bear. He
Yo,
would actively seek that bear out, honestly.
He'd be like, yo, you want to see my Fate pull? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Want to see my Genshin Impact pull? It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I still send him some of my polls from time to time. You're like, yo, 5-star Majin Okita, let's go. But
I have
yeah,
not played Genshin in so long.
I kind of dropped it because they stopped giving out good rewards.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like the overall grind is kind of dead, and like I guarantee the player base is definitely dropping, and it's only going to spike when the new expansion part comes out. But like even at that part, people are going to be so underleveled at that point that it's not going to matter.
Yeah, because they're not going to get there.
They're not going to get there in time and grind as people who might just
and
do it
therein shows the weakness of Genshin Impact, where the grind is just too much.
Exactly. If there was like not locked behind resin where I could just farm materials, but like they just make it long, that'd be fine because it's already you're already spending a time requirement, and like you should be the objective of the game should be keeping you in the world and not making you want to quit.
Forcing your players to stand by like a certain. Well, forcing your players to play a certain way is not going to keep them around.
Exactly. It's like if it doesn't have a good grind, it's not going to work out for you in the long run. That's what FGO does. FGO has a really good grind because it's like a little bit every single time. It keeps you going back for more.
Yeah.
And that's what Genshin doesn't do. It's just like, okay, we'll just dump out this and then do that, but it's one of those things where it's just like there's not enough content to suffice, especially with like all the events. It's like there's not enough content here for anyone who's been playing for this long to like do stuff with, you know?
Well, yeah, I think it's just a matter of I always have this problem with gacha games where it's like eventually I'm just so tired of it or tired of the grind, and I'm like, all right, how much do I need to get this character again? All right, and this
exactly. It's not even that thing. It's just like I just find the grind in FGO a bit better, just because it's like a constant thing where like I can, where I could understand like I'm seeing my progression and I could level up multiple characters at one time.
Bless you.
COVID.
Yeah, get out of my house.
But Genshin doesn't do that. It makes you choose 4 characters and then grind for those 4 characters, and that's what people shouldn't do. Because like if you want people to keep playing the game, you should make grinding easier for them until they get to a certain point where it's like, okay, it's slightly harder to get the upper echelon of materials.
Well, what needs to happen is that they need to unlock more characters through the story. I just feel like you get the 4 characters, and then they expect you to...
you get your basic free-to-play stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, it's one of those things where it's like, even the free-to-play stuff is not enough to, like, warrant people to buy more.
If we could complete a major story arc, like the Earth Dragon one.
Yeah, if you complete it and you unlock you should be able to unlock. Not even that. That should be gacha, obviously. But I think you should unlock the head person. The
like 4-star or
free 4-star at the end of it, because that's what FGO does at the end of every story. Basically, it gives you a free 3 to 4-star character.
It just encourages you to keep going. It's like, oh, I like this character. I can't wait to unlock.
Exactly. It's just like, and they tease you more with more story. It's just like, I don't want this anymore. I just want something to actually enjoy.
Yeah, and I just, like, they keep showing like all these new characters, and I'm like, yeah, they seem interesting, but
I'm not gonna have enough Saint Quartz to
I'm not gonna spend 100 hours just to get this character fully up and ready to go.
Exactly. It's just like you already spent so many times in the other characters, so like, why do I care about this one?
Yeah, it's like even if you get that character, it's like, okay, now I have to get them 5 more times so that they'll be viable, that I can do the end game stuff.
Exactly. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, where it's just like, you kind of just like, fuck it, I'm kind of done with this game, I don't want to play this anymore.
It'd be crazy if it was, not a gacha, but I mean that's kind of how it has to work because it's free.
I think it would work better if it was like a build your own character thing where you choose like a class or whatever.
Yeah, I could
choose like a weapon class where you do either magic, swords, or spears, and then you get a set moveset, but that set moveset's upgradable.
Because that's what a lot of MMOs do. That's what the whole entire thing about MMO is, leveling up the character. But like it's one of those things where it's like at certain parts of the story, it's like you'll get more XP, but like during other parts of the story for the grind, you won't get much XP. And I think having better armors than just the simple like bauble system they have, and more like aesthetic baubles would probably be better, because like it's one of those things where it's like I just don't really care enough to like grind for your shitty little trinkets anymore.
And it sucks too, because Genshin was for a while.
It was fun. It was fun. It was new. It's different.
Sleeper hit for me. I was like, this is actually really cool, and it was free, and it just felt like a Breath of the Wild.
Let's just make our own Genshin Impact with hookers and booze and blackjack, and then we'll make millions off of it.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's just do a rip-off version of all the Smash characters and put them in. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like Devil Mario.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series.
We'll put him in.
They made that joke on Twitter the other day for Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturnal, because it was one of those days where it's like I'm kind of done with the whole Dante shit, honestly. I really could care less if he's inside Smash or he comes out with the new Devil May Cry. Because like honestly, 5's story was kind of bad in its own right, because it was just like it was kind of pandering, I guess, to like.
What, Devil May Cry 5?
To the fans a bit, because like they brought back fucking Virgil, spoilers, but like they brought back Virgil.
Well, I mean that's kind of like this was like 5 was the penultimate. Like this is like their magnum opus. This is the end basically. Like this from this point on, we probably aren't going to make a sequel. So this is it. Like,
I think 5. Yeah, I think that's my major complaint though. Is just like we just came out like 2019, and I'm just like I don't really care for it, because like I know how it's gonna end. It's gonna be a good ending. Yeah, obviously, because this is the 5th one in the series. A lot of things don't end up with these many games, especially like things like a simple gameplay loop like Devil May Cry is very simple, like hack and slash.
I could see them making a remake of 1, 2, and maybe 3. Yeah, I would say 3 maybe, but after that. Yeah, I don't think
they shouldn't remake 2. 2 was the weakest in the series.
I feel like they should decent.
4 was okay.
4, well, yeah. The problem with 4 was that you just repeated the same story.
Exactly. It was just like, why am I doing this? 3, I think 3 had probably the best ending overall, because that was like the final thing of like the trilogy.
If I were to rank them, I would say 5's the best, 3's second best, 4's third.
First is third, and then second is last, because God, that's a shitty game.
Second was unnecessary. Game. That's why I feel like they should go back and like they could re-amp the bosses and make them better.
Not even that. You need to redo the entire system. You need to rebuild it from the ground up in the current thing.
Well, yeah, just make.
And I do think they shouldn't use the current whatchamacallit
RE engine.
Yeah, because it looks shitty. The teeth look shitty. The model looks shitty. I hated the models of World, just because how like uncanny they look. It was one of the shittiest like experiences ever, because like the hand looks like shit.
No, that's not the RE engine though.
It's no. It's 5 was not built in RE engine. RE engine is
5 is built on RE engine.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Yeah, RE engine is for Resident Evil. That's it.
No, I'm pretty sure it is. Hold on, let me check. Oh, my phone is dead. Well, we're not gonna find out.
It's built similarly.
I'm pretty sure it's built on
it's the same shitty style with the teeth that look gummy as fuck. I hate it.
I gotta confirm it if you can look it up, but
I'm telling you now. I'm pretty sure World would have the same thing. Yeah, the same shitty modeling problems that everyone has.
If it's not, then I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I heard it was on. And even then, it still looked good to me, but that's just objective. But I will say that the combat in 5 is definitely the best. It's not as hard as 3, but I feel like at that point it's like, I don't know. There's definitely.
All right, yeah, it is made in the RE engine, but like it's all everything inside these games look fucking dark, and when they're properly lit, it looks like shit.
I debate. I mean, that's objective, but they go for the hyper realistic look sometimes. With RE, it works really well because that's the idea. It's a darkly lit. And like high detail, but with Devil May Cry, it's a more action-packed series. So like you don't need to focus as much on detail. Just go with the mechanics. But I think it looks fine. And then I'm just waiting for.
I still think the RE engine looks bad. That's just a clear statement for the hyperrealism. It
that is
looks
Davis'
bad.
opinion. I do not follow it, but he has his own opinion. So
Yeah,
What can
this
I
is a
say?
very opinion podcast, but I do think that I think 4 for RE was probably the pinnacle of everyone, just because how fun it was. I
Yeah.
think 2 and 3 are pretty solid entries, though. I think 6 is the weakest, and 5 was like
yes.
one of the worst.
5
7 and 8 are different, just-
multiplayer. 5 multiplayer is a different story. If it's 5 solo, then it's pretty weak. But if it's 5 multiplayer, that's a different
Exactly.
story. That's a much.
But like I said before, I don't want to fucking play an online game when I could just enjoy it solo.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could do split screen, but the split screen for that game is terrible.
Exactly.
5. It's not very good.
It's not optimized, and that's the thing. It's just like it's not optimized for like that, and that's why I think like 7 and 8 for Resident Evil is interesting because it's first person.
yeah. No,
I think it's interesting, but it still looks bad in a way where everything looks like fucking gummy as hell.
Oh, where you're talking, yeah, like the mud and stuff. It can look a little weird.
Everything has like this weird like gloss shine to it. It's like
Yeah.
they use like
I know
a
what you're
bump
talking
map
about.
for like everything, and like you're not supposed to use a bump map for everything. You only use bump maps for like certain textures.
No, I feel you. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I could see it. Like certain mud texture and water kind of looks weird.
Water and forehead shine is just fucking glossy.
Yeah, I guess what they're trying to go is like the Thing look, where everything's glossy and looks like there's sweat and sweat everywhere, but it just comes off as like
You can't recreate that
Unnatural.
inside a game engine because like it has to follow the same properties of like water. It's gonna reflect the
Yeah.
light off everything.
But yeah, I will say like RE2 remake definitely looked pretty decent in terms of environments and character models. But Nemesis, like this is
The new one reboots
yeah, it's
remake.
Nemesis did look a little too glossy, I will admit. And the blood was kind of like
It's got the chunky feeling to it. It looks like it's at sometimes at points it has the consistency of Jello.
yeah. And then if we're talking about RE3 remake, that wasn't as amazing. That wasn't. I've heard people say that RE3 wasn't.
It's
in some-
okay, but it's just like the amount of time you have to play like as Jill, and the shit you have to go through is just like it's such a fucking hurdle at certain points.
I assumed it was going to be like you would explore all of Raccoon City, like that whole part where you're in this actual city.
I really think an
I
open
would've
world RE game would be fun.
Yeah.
Like a survival thing, like Last of
It
Us.
doesn't
but
have
like,
to be like super big, like a Far Cry
Exactly.
map. Just design it really well, where there's multiple puzzles and shit.
there's multiple
you can
puzzles
do.
and like intricacies where like there's one main hub, but like you have to go out and venture out and find shit.
Yeah,
That's
and you
what I
can
think-
unlock certain districts of the city, and like as you explore, and there's like different threats in each one. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, it's
And
one
then-
of those things where it's like, I feel like at this point, like they would have to make that like a side game / prequel thing, because like at this
Yeah.
point in the series, we're back with Chris Redfield, which is fine. I like Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is probably one of the more stable characters overall.
Yeah.
and it's one of the better recurring characters besides Leon.
I would love it if there was like a Louisiana one. Well, there already is, but I mean like one set in like New Orleans.
Which is literally Left 4 Dead. And
Yeah,
that's literally Left 4 Dead, Charlie.
I know, but I'm just saying like open world.
Stop
like,
trying to steal ideas.
Shh.
You're stealing ideas from people who worked really hard on
Listen,
them.
man, I can't wait for that zombie. What was it like the
The
Left
people who actually worked on Left 4 Dead,
Yeah.
or were they fans? I forget, because they
No,
said
they're-
something about
the actual people who worked on it.
on it,
Yeah.
left Valve, and they're working on another Left 4 Dead spin-off.
Thank God.
Their own version of it.
I've waited. I've been waiting. So I guess this is the one that'll scratch that itch. But
Yeah. But what
World
else?
War Z's not gonna.
No, obviously.
No offense, but I just.
What else? That game. Oh, did you see? I don't even talk about this, but the Resident Evil trailer for Netflix.
Didn't see it.
It looks pretty decent overall. I think it's definitely one of those things where it's like it definitely takes between 3 and 4. Because like Leon's working at like the White House and stuff technically, so
Oh,
it's right
okay.
before
How many planets
4
are these
happens.
motherfucking
I really think that
organizations gonna
4
have?
would make a really good movie.
I do too. I think if they condensed it a bit, it would be really work well. Because that's the idea, right? Is it based on
It's
like
the action
movies.
movie.
And
Which
it's-
makes
that's what
sense
people
because like
love
this
so much.
is a new refreshing take on Resident Evil and makes it fun and interesting for people to play.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I see 4 as like the perfect mix of horror and action.
Yeah.
But I will admit, like, as a movie format, they're gonna have to.
You
cut
need
a
to
lot of
condense
stuff.
a lot of stuff. I think
And
it's
I feel like there's
if
certain charms that
the
the
first
old one
act should be
had.
completely just Salazar shit, and then the second act would be like Ada Wong and the other guy who you like, and then from there it's like okay, final finale.
And the problem with like video game movies in general also is like you have to capture moments that players have already captured.
Yeah, whoever's seen it and stuff.
And be like, oh my god, I remember that bit. Like, I know for a fact they're gonna recreate the village scene where he walks in and they all go, or I don't know, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. You know, like where they all come after you and you have to dodge the chainsaw guy.
Yeah.
Like, if they recreate that scene,
It'd be very short.
it would be shorter and it wouldn't feel nearly as scary as you
Yeah.
being there and you having to deal with that shit. Like, doing that the first time is fucking terrifying.
I think if that they did it correctly, where it's just like, okay, he kind of sort of like, they see him and like they kind of go hide, but then they're like, oh, the chainsaw comes through the door or whatever, and then that'd be a good
Yeah,
thing.
and there's like a whole chase sequence.
And then
like,
Leon
eventually
tries to
ends.
shoot him, and like, but he doesn't go down, so it's like, okay,
And then just about he's about to get attacked, like the bell rings.
Bell
and
rings, and
everyone
like, what the fuck's
leaves.
going on? And then you kind of like delve deeper into the mystery.
Yeah, but then there's just so much stuff. I feel like they'd have to do with like
4
a
was a
two-part.
really long game, though. It's
Yeah,
one of the
it's
longer
really long.
Resident Evil games, honestly.
And that's why it's like you're gonna have parts that are gonna get cut out, and I feel like that's not gonna
I think
work.
you could skip like a bunch of the puzzles. I think the puzzles are probably the things you would cut out, if
Yeah.
anything, which makes sense because it's a puzzle.
You could hint at it.
You
could
can
be
hint
like,
at certain things, like, okay, well, they found like this piece. And
oh, you know what they could do though? Castlevania-ish series, you know? Have
not live action.
No. I'm saying like animation.
Oh, anime. Well, that's what they're doing with like the CGI.
Well, I'm just
thing.
saying like 2D.
I think it'd be a pain to animate all the zombies in 2D. So I think a CGI thing with dark lighting looks better.
Yeah, I can see that. Like if, you know, I feel like if it's just like a series though, like not a movie, but like
Yeah.
a series, I feel like that you could fit in all that. But
I think you'd probably do a Chris Redfield series though, as like a
I could see that.
like 2D animation. I think that'd probably be the way to go for that one, but I don't think a CG or like a 2D Resident Res 4 remake would be good.
Any games? Oh,
Oh, you know what came out the other day?
what?
The Cooking with Emiya household
Oh.
game came out for the Switch. I was like, I need to get this. I was like, fuck, bro. And it came out the other day, so I'm gonna probably play it on stream sometime next week.
I've been debating on getting. Well,
Pokemon Snap.
No, not Pokemon Snap. There are 3 games that are coming out. I know it's Horizon 2, Dead by Daylight 2, Far Cry 6. Those are the 3 that
I'm kind of done with Sony though at this point.
Well, yeah,
like, after Monster Hunter,
I could definitely tell you, definitely not getting Horizon 2 because I never played the first one. I know what happens, but I'm not gonna play the sequel because I'm like, no, thank you. I don't have a PS5. And then it's a debate between Dying Light 2 and Far Cry 6. Excuse me. Which is kind of tough. At first, I was like,
Far Cry is probably better and worth
yeah.
the time. 'cause,
Well, that's the thing, is, like,
Far Cry games are always large in scale and
Yeah.
scope, where like you can have hours of fun and like work through the story at your own progression.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, the thing is, like, with Dying Light 2, I was like, oh, this is so cool and experimental. It's like, oh, okay, it's a zombie game, but it's like, all you got is all this other shit and the factions and stuff. But then I saw the trailers for Far Cry 6, and I was like, this game's got some fucking personality. I like the look of this game.
Yeah.
You can shoot people with a Macarena gun. I'm like, okay, this might change my opinion. And so you get an alligator as a pet. I'm like, you know what? This looks pretty good. So I think I might get Far Cry 6. I probably will get... I guess I got 5, so I might as well get 6.
Yeah.
Even though 5 was kind of...
5 was okay. It was one of those things where it's like, I don't really care.
The setting...
4 was okay. 3 was probably the pinnacle of it.
Yeah.
Because 3 was probably when everyone jumped on to the whole Far Cry train.
Yeah, I definitely think... I think Far Cry works best in tropical areas. 5's setting wasn't terrible. I thought it was interesting, but the story was just weird. It was just weird, and it, like, whenever you tried to have fun, you were always reminded...
5 was a bit broken, if I remember correctly. It was at certain points,
Yeah.
it was broken to the point where you couldn't do certain things if you completed certain objectives.
It was very strange. I couldn't complete all the side quests because I did something wrong or something, and I was like, this is bullshit. But also the ending pissed me off because it's not satisfying in any way, and it's just really depressing. And so I'm like, then why would I fucking play? Why would I do this? And it looks like this time around it's going to be more fun, which I'm like, yay, please, thank you. Just let's have a villain that we just hate and beat. Don't make it a philosophical fucking whole deal, please.
Stop trying to be edgy Canadians and just shut the fuck up and let me play a game.
Please, Ubisoft, don't be weird. Just
be base. Don't be cringe, Ubisoft.
Yeah, but that's Ubisoft, though. They try to be like, oh, we're going to push the boundaries, and you're like, oh, you mean you're going to fix your game and I make it glitchy? I doubt it.
Yeah. But what else?
Pokemon Sword Shield, I told you about that before. Like, I've been playing that again just to beat it, because I didn't beat it before. And I'll tell you what, I am 2-0 fucking P. If you just have, like, 1 or 2 Pokemon in your party that are level 100, you beat the game. You literally, there's no... All you have to do, get Cinderace and Corvisquire or whatever.
And Dracofish.
And yeah, just get them up to level 100, fully evolved. You're good to go.
Yeah,
you're done.
pretty much.
You win.
Just fucking sweep the competition. I like the ending, though, where it's like an actual tournament, because I hated the Elite Four structure, where it's kind of like...
Yeah.
5 structure was fine, because you get to choose which one you gotta fight first, and work your way up. But I think a tournament structure is more interesting, just because it feels like you're...
It's random, yeah. It's
randomized, and like you could go back, repeat it, and like play different people. And plus you get the double tournament afterwards, you complete all the DLC, which is great. I think it's probably one of the better battling systems, and more tournament organized. So I like, because it's more similar to the World Pokemon Tournament inside Black and White. And I think Gen 5 would probably like be the pinnacle of Pokemon, just because of the post-game content.
Excuse me. Are you thinking about getting
The Gen 4 remix?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll get the double pack, and I'll give you one for Christmas.
Aww.
That'd be your early Christmas gift when it comes out in
Thanks,
November.
bitch. Thanks, brother. Cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, because like then we can trade Pokemon, and that's fine.
Yes.
I just want my fucking Chingling back.
Give me my fucking Tyranitar Pokemon.
Tyranitar's in the game.
I want my Tyranitar. I got the sword version. The shield version has Tyranitar.
Oh, you just trade for it.
Give me your fucking Tyranitar. That's all I want.
Even Tyranitar's not even that great inside competitive. It's just like one of those Pokemon where it's like it's very niche.
I love him though. He's so much fun.
I've been shiny hunting though more for Pokemon. It's been a lot of fun actually. I usually do it on stream at twitch.tv/proto_moto.
It's amazing. I haven't found a single one. I've just been.
Did you complete the Pokedex and get the shiny charm though?
No, not yet.
You should do that. It increases your chances.
That's what I was planning. I guess I was just like, that's why I'm going through the Pokedex right now. I'm just like, cool, I can catch all the Pokemon now because I got all the badges. I'm like, cool, I'm just gonna catch every level or 3rd evolution Pokemon I see in the Wild Zone.
And then breed and then work your way back up.
Yeah, exactly. Just if I catch you, you're coming with me.
And I mean, make sure you get the DLC because like, there's a lot of stuff that you will be able to find easier.
Yeah, I probably should get it.
The DLC is fun. I enjoy it. It's one of those games where it's like I enjoy the overall.
Yeah, it helps the experience.
Yeah, because it helps more of like how certain things are going to pan out for the series.
Ooh.
Like structure wise for like gameplay and stuff.
Yeah. Are you thinking about what Pokemon Arceus? What are your thoughts on that, real quick?
I think it looks neat. I do think there's probably going to be more content though. What it seems. So they only showed off like the main wild area.
When is E3 coming out again?
June 15th is for Nintendo.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's coming out like what, next week?
Yeah.
Next 2 weeks.
So
next Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
So do you think we're gonna get information on that, or
probably because it's coming out next year? So they're probably gonna do some like big announcement like that. They're probably do that. What else? Breath of the Wild 2, I guess, and then
maybe Samus 4.
No, they scrapped that. I guarantee they scrapped it. They gave it to another studio. I don't think they have anything ready yet.
Yeah, Samus. Well, not Prime. So Breath of the Wild 2, maybe
Splatoon 3.
Oh yeah, Splatoon 3.
They might have information on that.
Yeah. Could they have a new Mario title? Maybe.
They might do something because like it was the 35th Mario anniversary.
Yeah.
So they might do something like big for like a holiday release for like December, because like the way the calendar's shaping up right now, if Pokemon releases in November, then they need something to release in December, and then RCS releases inside January. Then they have to fill out the rest of the content for the beginning of quarter 3, 4, and the first quarter of next year. I think the near the end is pretty solid to say like their content schedule is pretty backed up in that thing. I do think they're probably going to release some like small game within the 3rd quarter, but it's big enough IP, maybe a new Donkey Kong game. I don't know. I think that'd be fun though, a new Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I think
that would probably be the best thing for quarter 3 because it's something people remember, people will buy it. but it's not like a mainline title for like a larger franchise, you know?
Yeah, I asked for two things: a sports pack or a Mario Party pack. It's the only two things I'm asking for, because
I don't think they're going to do a Mario Party pack. They would never do that.
No.
Because all the games are made per controller, and the Switch
Yeah.
has like less buttons than certain aspects.
then at
of
that
it.
point, I just ask for Super Mario Party 2, with just
Maybe Mario Kart 10. You never know.
I don't really. Well,
I think Mario Kart is fine by itself. It's not one of those things where it's just like you probably could make it, people would buy it, but I don't think.
I just don't really play it as much as like the party series. Yeah, it's just a disappointing thing. Like we talked about it before, but with Mario Party, I'm just like waiting for something, and then the sports mix thing. I really just want sluggers. Just give me fucking sluggers, please.
Nah.
Just give me something.
But Charlie, these are Nintendo people. They don't play sports.
You're
They don't
right.
care about sports,
You're right.
Charlie.
But they're Japanese, Davis. They love baseball.
No, they're not. Like it's very niche baseball.
No, I'm just
Baseball is
kidding.
actually very niche.
Really?
to
No
Japan.
kidding. I thought
it's
it was.
very
All
niche.
Nah.
If you had to choose like an actual sport that people watch, it's all foreign stuff.
Oh,
They don't really watch their own like. People go to games and stuff, yeah, but it's like minor league stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's not like MLB, like major leagues, like
Must have got the wrong
Yankees,
impression.
Mets,
Oh.
and like Red Sox stuff. It's like kind of minor league stuff that small companies like will sponsor, and then they'll wear their jerseys and stuff. Like SoftBank is like a very, very like supportive of like their baseball, but like I don't think it's like one of the largest. It's
Right.
not large as like volleyball, which is probably because of Haikyuu and stuff. There's more anime and manga revolve around that stuff than baseball.
And soccer as well, probably. It's also really popular.
Yeah, soccer's really popular. I think baseball is probably like the lower echelon of like sports that people want to play.
Yeah, I could see that. I thought it was higher, but I guess not. Well, it just goes to show people. Just
I'd
don't.
definitely say volleyball, soccer, then baseball, and then probably basketball on the same level.
American football? No, no, nowhere else but America.
Honestly, it's such a pain in the ass because like as a kid, right, you had all this equipment and stuff, but you grew out of it, so it's like why bother playing it when you're a kid when you can just like play it as an adult and not have to spend as much money on equipment.
Yeah, I like for football. I love football. To be honest with you, I love it a lot. But there are some problems I have with it. Of course, like the equipment stuff is just such a hassle to get and manage. And of course,
pain.
it's also extremely dangerous too.
Oh yeah, well it's no shit.
But it's still fun. Like I love, flag football's fun to do with friends. And then like, just overall, like I love basketball as well. Basketball is like my shit. I love that, even though I don't play as much as I should.
I think people should get more into frisbee golf though. Frisbee
Frisbee
golf.
golf, let's go. I prefer MMA golf, where you just one guy hits the ball, the other guy tries to stop you and beat the shit out of you. You like try to get to the hole as fast as you can before the guy kicks the shit out of you, and you're both dead tired. It's so much fun.
What's that American Dad thing where it's like he stands playing golf, but like he fucking whiffs a shot, so he just picks it up and throws it. It's so fucking funny because like it's one of those things where it's like people like say like, oh, you should play golf and like you should know golf. It's like no, you should know how to like understand. You don't need to play golf to close a business deal. That's one of the things you don't need to like do because like all the people inside who work inside the industry probably don't have enough time to play golf anyways.
I don't know why golf of all things they choose. I mean, like I get it. It's it's not relaxing. What am I talking about? It's the most fucking aggravating sport. One of the most aggravating sports that you have to spend so much time on to learn. So I don't understand why they decide to do that as their pastime.
Exactly. It's just like why bother?
It just makes no sense to me. And even though my family loves golf, I'm like, yeah, I love it a lot, but I just don't see it. Like if you're trying to close a deal with a foreign, executive, it's like, and he doesn't understand, then why would you make him do that?
It's one of those things where it's just like if you have like a person over, you don't want them to see your bad side. That's kind of the point. And playing a sport is not the greatest thing to do because if people I know who have anger issues don't do sports that well.
No, I definitely fucking get pissed when I miss a shot or fucking, So I have anger issues.
It's one of those things where it's like go have like a nice sit down lunch and then
play
shake
a video
on it.
game. Fucking Do a Monster Hunter hunt. Do that.
Take a commemorative photo, and that's it.
I'd do that. I'd be like, yo, do you play Monster Hunter? Let's play that. Or just, do you ever play Super Mario Party? Let's play that.
No, that'd be even worse.
That'd
be worse.
Let's decide the future of our companies by playing a Mario Party. I'm going with Bowser. Good luck.
Yeah.
Or I'm going with Shy Guy. Good luck.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're screwed. You don't know how to play this game. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, you should just be able to shake on it, and you don't need to close a deal like that, you know?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
I learned this thing called odds.
Oh, odds are? Yeah.
So it's like, oh, dip your hand in this
Dip your hand in, like, hot wax, and odds are out of 5, and then you go 1, 2, 3, and you're supposed to say a number from 1 to 5.
Reverse, and it's like, okay, I like that. I try to introduce that to my parents, and they're like, we don't understand. I'm like, how? It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to learn.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like people don't do the reverse because like it just if you do the reverse, then the odds are against your favor.
Well, yeah, it goes down and down and down as it goes.
Because if you're doing reverse, you have to do like odds out of 2 because it's a 50 shot.
Well, it goes from like say odds out of 20, and then they reverse. It's like okay, odds out of like 15, and then you could choose how far it goes down. Well, I guess it depends on what rules you have.
Well, no, because if you're playing odds are, the odds are you do the dare.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like 1 out of 20. If I give you, we both say the same number at the same time, then cool. Oh, are you talking about something different? Are you saying
this is odds are? You're not supposed to do reverse because if anything, you do it on a smaller scale.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
If you're doing a reverse thing, you do it like out of 5.
If it's like sort of like if either of you will get the item or something like that, then like for instance, like if there was like something like really cool that we were gonna get, but it was either going to be one of us. It'd be kind of like a rock, paper, scissors situation. It's like, all right, whoever gets it
just
first.
Play rock, paper, scissors, shoot, dude. It's just like, flip a coin. It's probably you have a better chance of flipping a coin than getting fucking odds are. Odds are is for dares. It's not for making decisions.
I mean, it could be for both.
It's never made for decisions, trust me.
No, it could be.
No, it's always against you.
No, it's like it goes back and forth. So if you don't get it, then the other person goes. It goes back and forth.
No, that's not how you play odds are, Charlie.
No, you can.
No, Charlie, that's a waste of time.
Let me do an example.
Charlie, that's a waste of time.
Let me do an example. So say it's like 1 out of 20. Say, okay, odds are, and you say 18. Okay, so it's my turn. So you go, okay, 1 out of 15. And then I go back and forth. And if I got it,
then just do a small number. You're wasting time, Charlie. You're literally burning daylight.
It's just a different way of doing it.
No, it's not. It's a dumber way, Charlie.
It's just a different way of doing it.
You're literally burning daylight just by doing that stupid system where you're going down.
If you're bored and you just don't want to play rock, paper, scissors, then it's like, okay, this is a different alternative. I'm just saying.
No, it's not. If anything, you play 21. You do fingers if you're going to do that.
There are so many other options.
There's no. Odds are it's always a one-time deal.
No.
Audience.
Leave
a comment if odds are it's just a one-time thing. If you get it, you have to do it. It's a dare thing. It's never a decision.
If you say it's go 1, 2, 3, and then we both say a number, and then it's like okay, excuse me, and we say 1, 2, 3, 10, and if you said 11, then we go down and then we keep going. That's the idea.
No, that's not how it works, Charlie. That's not how
it might be a different
works.
version. I'm telling you,
no,
that's
not.
a version.
Who did you learn this from?
From English people.
What psychopath taught you this?
It's a thing.
No, it isn't. It's not.
People in England do it all the time.
No, it isn't. They don't go back and forth.
Oh my god.
That is such the most benign way to kill yourself.
Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it's a thing.
Trust me, that's the most benign way to burn daylight and make someone kill themselves.
Oh my
it's
god.
always a one-time thing. It's always like
we must be talking about something different because
odds are is always played once, depending how great the scale is. If I said go jump off a bridge, it'd be odds out 1 out of a 50.
I know what I'm talking about, but clearly we're not going to reach a decision.
You don't.
Whatever.
You don't. Charlie, it's making for hardcore decisions, odds are, and dares. It's never making like these softball decisions like, oh, whoever gets this little thing, whoever gets the last piece of toffee in it or then tea, whatever. That's such a bullshit benign way to do it, Charlie. I'm just telling you now.
All right, man.
British people are going to fucking kill themselves once they hear this because you're getting it wrong.
Okay.
Because it's definitely not the way you're talking about because it's always been the one-time deal. If you listen to any Super Mega video, you would know this, Charlie. It's always the odds are.
Watch a Sidemen video then. They do that. I don't know what to tell you.
No.
Anyway.
Because odds are it's always a one-time deal when the stakes are really high.
I will show you after this what I'm talking about. But anyway. So what else are we gonna...
Because it's
Yeah, I'm just saying, Charlie, you're wrong. Because it's always made for a dare. It's never made for
whatever
made for
you say,
major
Davis.
decisions.
Whatever you say. Anyway, you play ever 7-Up? I'm just trying to find out other games that.
I think analog games are fun, but it's such a bullshit way everyone plays. 'Cause fucking people play Uno with like, oh, you can stack draw too. It's like, no,
Oh,
you can't.
no.
You can't fucking.
Well, you could. It's an
know
option.
You can't. You can't.
It's
Because that's
an
not how you
option.
play fucking Uno, dipshit. It's you have Uno. It's on your fucking Xbox. But no, you can't stack twos. That's the thing. You can stack other numbers, but you can't stack draw twos.
You could stack +4s though. I'm pretty well. That's an option. Once again, this is really an option. Like you could do that if you wanted to.
No, there's a rule
It
set. They
depends on
literally
the
said on
house.
Twitter, Charlie. They said on Twitter you can't stack twos.
Hey man,
If the Uno gods speak from Twitter, then the Uno gods speak.
if someone put a gun to my head and say we're playing with +2 add-on, I'm like,
I
okay,
say,
man.
fuck you, and pull another gun and kill him.
All right, bro. I'm just saying, people are different. They could choose what they want.
No, they're not. They're forced to play one way because it's the rules. That's how the game works. If you break the rules, then you can't play. It's all about game balance, Charlie. That's why like shit like action replays are illegal because they break the game rules.
Well, I mean, that's like a big time game, whereas you're playing like a small Uno.
No, this is game design 101, Charlie. If someone could break your rules, then the game isn't balanced.
Well, I mean, there's options. I'm just saying.
No.
There's multiple ways to play certain games, much like odds are.
No.
You just freaked out about that.
Fucking odd.
Must have hit a chord. Yeah.
No, it's always.
Nah.
Okay, so a good example of odds are is that odds are you clean up the entire table.
Okay, then I'd be like,
You'd be
okay,
odds-
pick a
odds are
number
to
from
5.
1 to 10, or like 1 to 5. Then go 1, 2, 3, and then we say the number. So you'd say the number you were thinking
exactly,
of, and
but
I'd
like
say the number you were thinking.
But
of.
if I don't get the number, then I would clean the table. It's automatic. It's
then
automatic
I would
loss.
say, okay, then let's go.
No,
1
it's
to
an automatic
4.
loss, Charlie. It's automatic lossing because it's made for hardcore.
Yeah,
decisions.
but then you could.
That's why I do a really low
But then
number.
you could say, okay, well, or I could say,
Why
okay,
would you?
reverse.
Why would you put in yourself
I'm
in that
just
disposition,
saying,
though?
Davis. If it
it's
was
already low enough, why would
Davis,
you put yourself in that
shut
position to
the
lose?
fuck up for a second. I'm telling you, if it's for something like if it's something good, like a piece of cake or something like that, it's like, okay, let's do odds. If I like, for instance, like, okay, give me odds, like 1 to 10, I take this cake from you. It's like, okay, okay, 1, 2, 3, and I say like 9, you say 8, and I'm like, okay, reverse. So now it'll be
No,
1
because
to 5.
you automatically lost. You're
It'll
already
be-
at the position of against. You already have the against the odds inside of that, Charlie. That's the point of the game. It's a gambling risk. You have a low chance of getting it,
Oh,
but
no,
if you
wait.
get the low chance, you get the high
I
reward.
did say it wrong. I'm sorry. What I mean is like if it's for like a game, if someone's supposed to take the punishment, that's how you do it. Like so.
That's what I'm saying. It's a dare. Odds
Yeah.
are you jump off a bridge, Charlie, out of 50.
That's right.
The point is that it's
That's
a high
right.
chance you won't do it.
That's right. I fucked that up. My bad. I was thinking because I thought you were talking about like there's been no situation like that would happen. But I thought, what you meant is like in a negative.
Odds are you do
Right,
it.
right.
Odds are. That's why it's always a low number, like out of 5 or 10. You never go up to 50 because it's odds are is against you.
I know. I'm just saying. But okay. So that's been cleared up. My bad. I must have gotten that wrong.
All right, that's fine. I guess that's a good place to stop the podcast, though. So thank you all for
any
listening
others?
to
No,
our
right.
insane ramblings about odds and games. And we'll see you guys next week sometime.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Enjoy our mukbang, whatever the hell it was.